once a month. It is basically uh, a real estate tools boot camp. It is designed for every real estate agent. So even though it is put on by LAER Realty, our brokerage, it is not a recruiting class. It is not anything other than a jam-packed 3-hour program with amazing tools, training, technology. We're going to give you marketing and branding pieces. We're going to give you like the creme de la creme of information to grow your business. So don't go anywhere, even if you're not with the brokerage. It will make little difference. You're going to get the same amount of content out of today's program as every other real estate agent who's joining us today. And I promise you, it is just jam-packed. So before I get started, couple things I like to always point out. First of all, knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential. And we're going to share a lot of knowledge with you today, but it's only potential. In other words, it is possible for you to spend 3 hours of your very valuable time when you could be building your business. You're going to be spending 3 hours with us today, and we want to make sure you get something out of it. That because you spent this 3 hours with us today, that your business trajectory will forever change. And in order to do that, you have to do something with the information that we're going to share today. And one of the reasons why agents don't end up doing something, executing on everything, is number one, they get overwhelmed. This is a fire hose of information. We've jam-packed everything you need to know to build a great business into the next 3 hours. So it's very easy to get frozen, to be stunned with all the information to the point that you do nothing. So the best practice for making sure that you don't get stuck is taking notes. So writing down some information. I say just, even if you can write down 5 items that you're going to go execute on today. One of the things I shared at a recent class I was doing on the Algorwin program is that I keep a journal, which is just classes that I take. So anytime I take a class, I just start a new page in the journal and I write down the things I'm going to go execute on. And then I have one journal that I can refer back to anytime I'm like, hey, remember I took that class and so told me about this technology. I just go back to my journal of training classes and go back to that particular class. So most importantly, though, is we want to make sure that you have a list, 5 to 10 items. It is not possible to get through today's program without having 5 to 10 items that you're going to go execute on. I get super excited when I see many of you have already been on this program, and that makes me very happy because I know that you've already gone and executed on some items and that you're back to execute on a few more items, because truly that's how this class has to be done, is because it's so much information. It's impossible to write down everything that we're going to cover today. So really just focus as something inspires you and you say, hey, I need that for my business, that you go and execute. So just 5 items would be great if you could go execute, because little teeny, those 5 items can change the trajectory of your business. And then come back. We do the same class once a month, same time, same place, every single month. And we've been doing it for years. So we're not going anywhere. As well, you can come back later this afternoon and watch the class again if you simply subscribe to our YouTube station, which is youtube.com/LAER, LAER training. So youtube.com/layer training. And I say come back every month for a little bit because we have some big stuff like new technologies, new pieces that we're adding to the real estate agent puzzle. So the class changes up just a little bit each month, but you can always come back and review later and take another little piece. That is how you have to execute on this program, is say, okay, I'm not going to get it all today, but I'll come back in a month after I've executed these 3, 4, 5 items for my business. So while I pull up the next piece, um, one of the pieces that's so hard with this business, I've owned brokerages now for 20 plus years, and I get frustrated sometimes when I see that agents keep attending classes, but you don't see growth in their business. And oftentimes that is because, unfortunately, real estate classes are a great place to hide in real estate. In other words, it can look like we're contributing to our business by attending a class, but in reality, we're not contributing to our business at all by taking a class. We only contribute to our businesses by actually executing on something from each class that we participate in. So don't let today pass you by without writing down 2 or 3 items. I see some more people just logged in. As a reminder, this class is made for everybody. This is not a recruiting pitch. This is a real estate tools boot camp, and we're going to share tools, training, marketing pieces, branding pieces. You're going to have so much content at the end of today, but the trick for all of us is to execute. So I am going to head over. We're going to start today's program at our LAER program and services guide. So this is a 40-page booklet that our agents use. It's basically a menu of services that we offer at LAER, but it's a great jumping off point for our class today. By the way, anybody can download this because this in itself is a massive tool for your business. You can download a copy of this at laerrealty.com/success tools. And basically, it's a list of all the tools that we offer at LAER, but also you'll see that there's hyperlinks to information throughout the guide, because it's not about just telling you what tools are available for your business. It's about giving you direction on how to utilize those tools for your business. So again, you can download this at laerrealty.com/success tools. If you have a printer at your house or your office or wherever you're watching today, print it out because it's a great place to take notes. But don't lose sight of the fact that you should be writing down 5 or 10 items that you will be executing on after you take today's program. I will give you some helpful hints along the way as well. Some of the things that I would be executing on if I didn't already have it for my business. So very quick overview on LAER. We are an independent real estate brokerage. We have about 800 real estate agents throughout New England and Florida. We have some very exciting things happening in March where we are moving into an entirely new state of Connecticut with about 50 new agents that will be joining our ranks. The brokerage was started about 11 years ago. What makes us really proud is we're small, we are independent, but we do a ton of business. So we are consistently ranked as one of the largest real estate brokerages in the country, just based on the number of transactions that our agents do. Where our name came from, LAER. When we started the brokerage, our goal was to attract and build great real estate agents. What makes a great real estate agent? Well, many of you guys know because you are the great real estate agents. But the 3 things that I think make a great real estate agent our strength of mind and health and body. So strong negotiators of difficult terrain. And that just means the best agents are the ones that are just really good at overcoming obstacles. Uh, and then the last but not least is a protector. So great real estate agents are protectors of their clients, and they don't focus on paychecks, they focus on helping people. 11 years ago, when the brokerage was started, I put those words into a Google search: strong, protector, negotiator. And the first thing that came up in that Google search was a lion. So I said, that's it. We're going to build our brand around the lions of real estate. Lions in the jungle stay together in layers. In the real estate world, we feel the lions of real estate are at LAER. We changed the spelling of LAER because our spelling is the mirror image of real, since we're in the real estate business. And then we created the acronym Local Agents Extraordinary Results. So I tell people, sometimes you see a lion statue in front of a home. That is because the lion is a symbol of protection for the home. We look at it that there's a new symbol of protection for real estate across New England and Florida, and that is our LAER for sale sign. So that's just a little bit of history on us. We now have about 800 real estate agents in all of our marketplaces. So as you go through the book, the first few pages spell out our cultural values. And then it talks about the fact that we are independent. This makes us proud only because we are kind of a breed that's going extinct. When you look at the top brokerages across the country, most of them are affiliated with huge franchises. So we're very proud to just keep our independence. It allows us to move swiftly, make changes as our agents tell us that they need new tools or training or technology. From there on out, the booklet is divided into 4 sections. So the first section of this is marketing and branding, which is where we're going to spend our morning. It then goes into technology, and then training and coaching, and then administrative support. So when you download this booklet, one of the things I like to point out is that anytime something is underlined, that is a hyperlink to more information. So this is truly an interactive workbook that will guide you through much of the stuff we're going to talk about today, which is why I wanted you to download a copy of the book, just so you have it, take notes in it. But when you come back to execute on some of the items we talk about today, this is where you'll get some helpful hints. You'll get hyperlinks, tutorials on how to use some of the items that we talk about. So the very first piece of technology that we're going to share with you is LAERagentservices.com. Again, one of the things you'll note, by the way, this is a hyperlink, so we could just click this and it's going to take us right over to the LAER Agent Services dashboard. One of the things that makes us proud is that everything we do at our brokerage is open to all agents. So this is our agent dashboard. This is where our agents spend time getting tools and resources and marketing pieces for their businesses. And it is open to all agents. You'll notice I did not put in a password to get into the platform because it is truly open to all agents. Let's take a tour of this, and we're going to spend some time this morning focusing on what many of you guys tell us matters most right now in your business, which is marketing and branding, because marketing and branding is used to position you. Positioning yourself as a real estate agent is so important because there are millions of real estate agents. somewhere around 3 million real estate agents or something like that. So it is vitally important to your business to position yourself so that you stand out from all the other agents in your marketplace. And that is why the marketing and the branding matters so much to your business. So we are at lairagentservices.com. You will want to bookmark this because you will come back to it regularly because there's so much content. We're going to spend the next hour or so exploring just Lair Agent Services. And during this tour, you're going to get literally tens of thousands of dollars worth of great content that you can take over to your business. So first off, just a quick tour right at the top of the Lair Agent Services dashboard. You'll see kind of like a little table of contents up here. We highlight a few things that are important. So first off, for our agents, there is a schedule here of all of our staff. We now have 50 plus staff members, and many of them are located at LAER offices. So if you are a LAER agent and you need to know if there's staff at your local office to drop off something, maybe a client is dropping off keys or a client is dropping off a check or something like that, you want to know if somebody's at the office to collect it, then just go to the Happy Agent host schedule. And that just shows you who's hosting our offices all across New England and Florida. Next is the LAER news. This is an internal, I'll spend 30 seconds on this because this is really kind of LAER specific, but once a month, our team puts out an internal company newsletter. It's just a 4-page fun printable newsletter. If you visit any of our offices, you'll typically see our Happy Agent hosts print these and leave them right in the front reception area so you can pick them up and see what's happening within the company. But it's always a 4-page newsletter. But it's chock full of information. So we have books, we have technology tips, we have what's happening within the lives of our agents. So births, deaths, celebrations, so you can find out what's going on with your fellow LAER agents. We always have our sustainability section. We always have a movies with purpose section, and then all the birthdays for the month. And then we always have a section of anything special happening within the brokerage for the month. So this is the February edition, and many of you know we're smack dab in the middle of a 12-week Algorand coaching program. I'll talk about that more later for anybody that has not yet heard of that. So that's the LAER news. I always say print it out. If you're a LAER agent, print it out once a month. If for anything, just to find out what's happening with your peers. If maybe somebody that sits in a desk a couple offices down from you maybe was recently engaged or had a baby or something. So it's a way for us to stay connected. Next, the recently joined section will just take you down to agents who recently joined the brokerage. Marketing up here takes you down to the marketing, branding, and presentation section. So all these other pieces at the top just move you down further into the site. So let's start exploring. Let's move down a little bit and check out some of these houses. By the way, the reason we designed it like this is because we are in the business of working with great real estate agents. And what do great real estate agents love to do? Explore houses. So each of these is a little house that you can explore with all kinds of great information in each one. So right at the top, we put resources for our recently joined agents. The very first button that you could press under here is the program guide, which we just came from a moment ago. This takes you to the laerrealty.com/success tools. And if you scroll down to the bottom, if you want this booklet, you can just scroll down and print a PDF version of the booklet right there. Also, if you're newly joined to the brokerage, we have LAER GPS. So basically, we get our staff fields hundreds of inquiries a day into our happy agent system. And so each year we take like the most asked questions, like the 300 most asked questions, and then we turn it into our GPS. So if you have a quick question about the brokerage, you can head over to this button, frequently asked questions, type in your question, and we've probably already have that question answered. And then under here, tell the world, we have a section of resources for agents that just recently joined the brokerage. So like social media announcements, postcard announcements, onboarding checklists, things like that. So that's kind of just a little area right at the top for our new agents. And then down here, we welcome recently joined agents. By the way, if you are a recently joined agent at LAER and you don't see yourself here, it's probably because we're either missing your professional photo or we are missing your bio. So we welcome you on our leaderboard here when we have both a professional photo and your bio. That way agents can click on it and get to learn a little bit more about you. Okay, so now the meat, the heart of what many of you guys are here for today, which is marketing, branding, and presentations. So first off, all of our marketing pieces, I told you that by attending today's program, you'll get access to tens of thousands of dollars worth of content, from listing presentations, buyer guides, seller guides, expired listing guides. All of that is under this house right here. So I scrolled down, I'm at laeragentservices.com. I scrolled down to marketing, branding, and presentations. I clicked on guides, presentations, brochures, and that is going to take us over to, I think it's just taking, there we go. Takes a second to load. All kinds of Canva marketing pieces. So first off, let's talk about Canva. Our entire marketing team works off Canva. In the old days, we used to work off of Adobe. However, we prefer Canva because Canva is made for laymen. It is made for people that have not taken marketing courses, and it is so easy for anybody to use. Canva is an essential part of your business, in my opinion. In case you're not familiar with it, it's basically a platform where you can go in and make cool marketing pieces, social media pieces, buyer guides, presentations. You can make videos, anything. Literally everything we create at our brokerage is built in Canva. So couple things to know about Canva. First of all, you can access it on your computer, and it also has a very user-friendly app. And both of them make it super easy to design stuff. You can design a social media post on the go, things like that. There's a free version and a paid version of Canva. So the free version is a no-brainer. Everybody needs to have a free version of Canva. The paid version, I think, is also a no-brainer for a real estate agent because we're in the business of marketing and positioning ourselves. This is why marketing is so important, is because we are positioning ourselves to stand out from 3 million other real estate agents. So I think that the $15 per month Canva Pro version is also essential for your business. So, what is the difference? Well, first of all, I want you to know that even if you have the free version of Canva, you're still going to have access to listing presentations, buyer presentations, everything I give you today, you'll still have access to it under the free version of Canva. The reason that I prefer the paid version of Canva is because of something, because of the images. So there's when you really work on your marketing, you will need access to stock images. That means like just images of everything from a beautiful kitchen to a beautiful exterior picture of a yard, anything. Please do not take your images off of Google. I promise you, if you are just Googling images and taking those, you will end up in a lawsuit because of copyright infringement. This happens to us. We're a big brokerage with 800 agents, and at least once a year, one of our agents inadvertently violates a copyright law because they think they can go to Google and take an image off of Google. But that image, if it's copywritten, the photography companies have designed it to catch you stealing their images so that they can sue you for it. And typically the lawsuit for one image starts around $30,000 for stealing one image. So don't use images from Google. Do yourself a favor. Use the Canva Pro edition. So, by the way, even if you have the free version of Canva, it comes with something like 1 million images. So even under the free version of Canva, you're going to get millions and millions of images you can use in your marketing pieces. I like the Canva Pro version because I like to have 20 million images to choose from. So you'll have tons and tons of images. The Canva Pro also has some other features that you don't get under the free version of Canva, such as social media scheduling. So many agents use Canva to schedule out all their social media. Not only can you create your social media in Canva, but you can also schedule out your social media right from Canva if you have the Canva Pro edition. Again, I believe it's $15 per month. And then you get a discount if you pay for a year in advance with Canva. So that's a little bit about Canva. Now, what happens if you have the free version of Canva and we have the paid version of Canva? Well, occasionally you're going to open, if you're using the free version of Canva, occasionally you're going to open one of our marketing pieces and you'll see a big Canva watermark across an image. And so you will have to change out the image. By the way, it won't let you download the image either until you've changed it out, because I've had agents say, I don't care. I don't care if it's got Canva across the image, but you won't be able to download the document you're trying to make either. So basically, occasionally you'll have to change out an image. How long does that take? 10 seconds. So basically, occasionally it will take you an extra 10 seconds to go find another image within the free version of Canva to swap out for the paid image that we used in our Canva template. So the way Canva works is in templates. So all of these are templates. So when you click on a Canva template, in case you're not familiar with Canva, when you click on a Canva template, and hold on one second, I'm just going to plug in. I thought it was plugged in, but it looks like it fell out. Okay.
Stacy, there is a question in the chat. Mary
Sure.
said, is the free version the 30-day trial or another one? There's a full free version that you can use forever, right?
Yeah, so I would definitely sign up for the 30-day version, but that's going to be Canva Pro. The
Oh,
the So the free 30-day version, they basically try to get everybody to sign up for the Canva Pro. So when you sign up for Canva for the first time, they are going to say, hey, we'll give you all the pieces of Canva for 30 days. So sign up for the free 30-day trial. And then at the end, you will just have to select if you don't want to pay for the $15 a month, then you're just going to select the free version. Okay, so now we are plugged in. Okay, so the way Canva works is templates. What that means is if you click on any of these templates, let's just go. This is one that we just recently added. This is a buyer, like a buyer intake form. So you edit this template. As soon as you open a template, it is now your document. So I've had agents say, I don't want to go in and make changes because that'll change it for everybody. No, that's not how that works. This is a Canva template. So what that means is our marketing team has already gone and spent thousands and thousands and thousands of hours creating beautifully branded real estate pieces. So this is a buyer intake workbook. We also are adding a seller intake workbook. These were recently, this one was just added because we're doing our live 12-week coaching program for Algorwin. And last week we covered buyers, and we wanted to have a fully comprehensive buyer intake form as part of our buyer checklist. Next Monday, we're doing seller intake. So we're also in the process of updating a seller intake workbook. So you'll find that being added. Literally all the time we're adding new stuff to this page. Anyways, back to templates. So anytime you open one of our pieces here, it is a template. That means as soon as you open it, you own it. It's in your Canva, and nobody is going to see the changes that you make. They belong to you. So that means that you can go in and take out logos. You can change anything. You could change this picture. So I don't know if this is a Canva, I don't know if this particular image is part of a Canva Pro or the free version of Canva, but I'll just show you how easy it is to change out a photo. So I'm looking at the buyer intake form and I want a new picture of a kitchen. So I just pulled, by the way, if you look over on the left here, whoops. If you look at all these pictures, you'll see that if it has a little crown in front of it, that means it's a Canva Pro. So if I use it, only people with Canva Pro will be able to get that image. But there's tons that are not Canva Pro. So let's just change this. Okay, so I just changed out the kitchen photo. That took me less than 10 seconds, and that is not a Canva Pro image. That is a free version of that's a free Canva image of a kitchen. So that's what I mean by stock photos. There's millions, even if you have the free version of Canva, there's a million of them. All of the pieces that I'm about to share with you, you can change out any image you want. You could change out logos. You're going to update everything with your name and your contact info. And then you can even change out the questions. Like this is a buyer intake package as part of our Algorwin class. But even here, you can change out anything you don't want. So you want to change the questions or change anything. The colors, the look, the feel, it is yours. Once you open it in your Canva, that now belongs to you. So any changes that you make, we will not see on our end of it.
And
So
you're fine with if somebody is with a different brokerage, a large franchise, they can get rid of the LAER thing, throw their own logo in there, and there's no problem with that.
100%. So there's tons of stuff here. We have a 20-point marketing plan. We recently, one of our agents asked for like a sheet of owning versus renting, so we made a Canva piece on that. One of our agents asked for an expired listing package. So she's out hand delivering a package anytime a listing expires, and she wanted a little booklet about my home didn't sell. So anytime we make great pieces, we then turn it into a template so other agents can use it. We have high performance listing presentation and buyer presentations for those of you that are focusing on sustainability in your business. We also have a guide to buyer, understanding buyer agency. We have a document here on why sellers should offer a buyer agent to pay the buyer agent. Seller net proceed sheets. We have buyer guides, seller guides. One caveat I want to point out here is if you're with another brokerage, one thing to think about as you're utilizing these pieces, especially when it comes to buyer guides and seller guides and buyer presentations and listing presentations, is that the laws of agency vary state to state. So you'll see here, so for example, our brokerage practices both in New England and in Florida. In Florida, we practice transaction brokerage. In New England, we do traditional agency. So in New England, we do represent buyers and sellers. We have a fiduciary role in representation. In Florida, there is little to no fiduciary representation. We're just representing a transaction. The reason that matters is when you are putting your pieces together, your buyer's guide or your seller's guide, if you're with another brokerage, I would have your broker just go through whatever your end presentation is or your end marketing piece, just to make sure it falls within the purview of whatever type of agency that you are practicing. So for example, right here, we have a LAER Realty buyer's guide and a buyer's guide for our Florida agents as well. They look and feel exactly, they feel almost exactly the same, but they do vary just a tiny bit, because there's a little list in there as to what the agent does for the buyer. In New England, because we have a fiduciary role, we do a little bit more than what we would do in Florida. So we just want to make sure we're not over promising stuff in the presentations that we're giving. So that's just like one caveat to double check. But you'll see a buyer presentation. We have a listing presentation. I'll take you through one of these in a moment. We have a guide to selling your home. As you'll see, we have a Florida version and New England version. Listing presentations, buyer presentations. Tons of stuff. The best way to check out all this stuff, this one I think is super cute. This is just a little flyer. This is just a flyer of the home selling process. By the way, we have the same thing for a home buyer process. Of course, you'd go through and customize this and add your photo and contact information, etc. So we have one for buyers, one for sellers. I think those should go in your buyer and seller packages. Also, if you're a LAER agent, as you guys know, we do a 7-day ad boost on every new listing. that you should be talking about that in your listing presentation and including a flyer about it within your seller package. So we have a flyer that we put here so that you can explain what that 7-day ad boost is on all our new listings. Let's see. We have little community guides, like a local guide here, sample listing sheets. We don't have a ton of sample listing sheets because our marketing team creates that for our agents whenever they get a new listing. So typically our agents are not creating their own listing sheets or brochures. But I want to take you back just for a second, just so you can see the quality of these presentations. So this is a buyer presentation. Now, I would argue that up until August of last year, I would say less than 15% of real estate agents had a buyer presentation. Because oftentimes a buyer would call and the agent would just go out and start showing real estate. We weren't getting, in many instances, a buyer contract signed, except in a couple states like New Hampshire required a buyer contract. But for the most part, many of the states we were in didn't require any type of buyer contract. So with the changes, now I feel like you have to have a buyer presentation. It's really important to have a buyer presentation because we're asking the buyer to sign what should be a long-term contract, in my opinion, before we're taking them out and showing them real estate. So this is our version of, and by the way, we have a couple different versions of buyer presentations, but this is just one of them, just to show you the quality, because I want you to realize that all of these branding pieces are truly created so you can stand out. We don't slap together pieces that look pretty but have zero content. In fact, we focus on the content first to make sure we're delivering something really good, and then we make it look pretty. So this is a buyer presentation. Of course, it's all meant to be customized to you. This one goes through the 10, sorry, it's a lot of pages, the 10-step buying process. Now, one of the things we talk about, if you've gone through our Algorwin business growth program, where we kind of set you up on track to build out your buyer presentation, your listing presentation, basically to build out your entire business. One of the things we talk about is that your success in real estate depends on your checklist manifesto. Like, what do you have good checklists for? And your buyer presentation and your listing presentation are checklist manifestos. These enable you to create a consistent message when you sit down with buyers. And anytime something goes wrong in a buying process, with a customer, for example, you can come back and just revamp your checklist, your presentation, so it's better next time. Couple things I want to point out in this buyer presentation. So basically, you'd be sitting down with your buyer and you go through the 10-step buying process. This whole presentation should take you 20 minutes. The first step is to talk about evaluation, consultation, and hiring a buyer agent. In fact, it then goes into, do I need a buyer agent? Which of course we feel that buyers do. And then it talks about how agents are paid. So one thing that's interesting about this buyer presentation is many real estate agents don't want to talk about the money with the buyer. We lead with it because let's just put it right up front. And it is that way, it's like not taking up space in the mind of the buyer. We're just getting it right out of the way. So we talk about how agents are paid. We talk about the buyer contract. Um, what the person agrees to by signing the contract. And then we actually cut and paste the contract into the presentation. This is a Massachusetts buyer contract, but you would cut and paste your buyer contract, whatever state or whatever brokerage you're using, you would cut and paste that right into the presentation. And then you explain that you can ask for seller contribution of the buyer fee. So you get that right out of the way in a 1-minute conversation right at the beginning of your buyer presentation. Number 2, talking about determining a comfortable price range, evaluating mortgage options. We go through all this in our Algorwin program because truly our job is to help consumers shop for the right mortgage payment. That doesn't mean it's your job to shop mortgage originators. It is your job to understand what mortgage payment the buyer feels comfortable with, and then tailor your showings so that they end up in a home with a payment that they can afford. So we then talk about pre-approved versus pre-qual. What is mortgage insurance? Number 3, we start evaluating communities. This is just explaining the process to the consumer. Step 4, shopping for a home. So one of the pieces that we include in our buyer presentation, and of course you can alter this and take it out if it's something that you don't want in yours, but what we tell our agents is that you should build into your presentation a conversation about Zillow. If you are not talking to your buyers about Zillow, then you are losing business to Zillow. That is just a fact because most consumers are on Zillow searching for real estate. Is it because Zillow is the best search platform? No. In fact, in many ways, it's not the best search platform. So it's our job to understand why it's not the best search platform. Number 1, it doesn't update real time. So the number 1 reason why the consumer should not be searching for a house on Zillow is because they're going to fall in love with the home of their dreams that somebody else put under contract 2 weeks ago. And Zillow just hasn't updated the feed yet. Number 2, you can't narrow your search. It only allows for $50,000 search increments. Also, you can explain to the buyer that, hey, I know sometimes you think you're reaching out to the listing agent through Zillow. That is typically not the case. You're reaching out to a real estate agent who's paying for your lead. So in reality, Zillow is not in the business of helping a consumer find the right home. Zillow is in the business of collecting names and email addresses that they can sell to real estate people and mortgage people. This has to be built into your presentation, in my opinion, or you're losing customers to it. But that is the point of a great checklist, is like, if you want to have consistent results for your business, then you have to have certain things that you do every time you talk to a buyer and every time you talk to a seller. And that is the value of a presentation. Sitting at a coffee table and going through this with the consumer so that you're not losing a buyer to Zillow. Also, sometimes agents lose buyers because they go to an open house and end up with another real estate agent. So through our checklist manifesto, our buyer presentation, we're going to have that conversation with the buyer while we're doing the presentation. What should they do when they would like to go look at an open house? What should the buyer do when they find a FSBO they like? Let's have the conversation up front instead of leaving it for the consumer to decide what they might want to do when when they drive by a FSBO they're interested in. Number 5, we talk about property due diligence. Number 6, pricing and offer strategies and bidding wars. And step 7, writing an offer. I always say that the first time the buyer sees the package, like the offer package, should not be at the time of offer. Unfortunately, oftentimes that is the case. The first time the buyer is seeing all of this lengthy contractual verbiage is when they're ready to write an offer. I think it should be right at the beginning of the process when you're going through this presentation that they get a packet so that they can see what an offer looks like and they can see what all the forms look like and what a lead paint form says and what all the disclosures say so that they can have time at their leisure read through everything, not when it's time to write an offer and there's another offer coming in so you have a half an hour to get your offer in. So kindness is explaining everything to the consumer up front and giving them all the package and the contracts up front so that there's no surprises. It makes for a wonderful home buying experience. You eliminate stress and chaos, and that's what makes you valuable. So it then talks about inspections. You guys know all this, but the point is having it all somewhere in a nice, easy to understand presentation for the consumer. So that is, and then step 10 is the closing process. You guys can feel free to go through all of this and make any of your own adjustments. And in fact, a great checklist manifesto is a living document. It is like this buyer presentation is alive. It is going to change over time. As things happen in your business or nuances, things like that. So we're already 1 hour into the program. There's tons of other pieces here for you to consider. Now, let me make some suggestions before we move out of the marketing section here. We started today and we said that success in your business is going to depend on your ability to take some notes and to execute. We don't want you to spend 3 hours with us today just so that you can say that you spent 3 hours in a class. We want you to change the trajectory of your business in a meaningful way. And the way for you to have a meaningful change in your business is to execute on something. That means after you leave today's program, that you're going to go do something. You're going to execute on even just one thing can change the trajectory of your business. So based on what I just showed you, here's what I think you should have if you don't have one already. Number one, a listing presentation. I just showed you our buyer presentation. We have listing presentations in there as well, and they're as good as what you just saw in a buyer presentation. Make it your own. Spend some time on any of your presentations, but every good agent has a great listing presentation, a great buyer presentation, and 3 packages: a buyer package, a seller package, and an investor package. What is a package? A package is you take a folder with your company branding on the front of it, and you put in information for buyers. So your buyer packet would have a buyer guide, maybe the monopoly piece about the steps to buying a house, maybe a sample offer package with all the contracts and forms in there, a brochure about your brokerage. So that's a buyer package. You should also have one for sellers, a seller package. It would have a seller guide in there, maybe sample seller forms. So a listing contract, lead paint, seller disclosures, anything that the seller is going to eventually have to sign. Let's include it all in that package. The monopoly board piece that goes through the selling process, a brochure about the brokerage. By the way, one of the pieces we share within the Algorwin growth system class is also building a really strong vendor list. Vendors can be a key to your success because it allows you to tap into a business owner who has usually a much larger sphere of influence than a person who is not a business owner. So we also have within this, the Canva templates we shared. There's also a document where you can include all of your preferred vendors so that you can include those in your packages. The investor package is same, like and by the way, we have a guide for investors in there. Anything I'm telling you, you don't have to invent. So you're not gonna have to leave here today and go start from scratch building anything that I'm telling you right now, because we've already created all the pieces. So building your buyer presentation, your seller presentation, and then your 3 packages, your buyer guide, your seller package, the buyer package, seller package, and investor package. I believe in 2 hours, you should have it. In 2 hours, you can do everything that I just said, plus go to lunch for 1 hour of it. It should not take you 2 hours to create everything I just said. By the way, when those are complete, we don't spend a lot of time today focusing on your personal energy, but to be successful in real estate, you have to have a high vibration, good personal energy in order to attract business. When those items are complete, your buyer presentation, seller presentation, and all your packages, you are telling the universe or God or whatever you believe in that you are open for business. And as soon as you tell the universe or God or whatever you believe in that you are open for business, I promise you business starts to come your way. So that is all under guides, presentations, brochures. Next, we wrote our own book on NAR settlement resources. So if you're in a state that we do business in, such as Mass, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Florida, Maine, I might have missed one, but we wrote our own book on all the new forms that came out in August and exactly how to fill out all the forms. I hope you already know all that, so I'm not even going to click on it to show you anything, but there's a lot of good resources under this. If you still need help with any of the stuff from August, we have created it all for you. There's also some great marketing pieces under there that if you need to convince a seller why it's important to pay a buyer agent fee, or if you need to convince a buyer as to why it's important to have a buyer agent, we have some great third-party pieces that we have put together under this NAR settlement resources section. So not only do you have our 200-page booklet we wrote on how to maneuver all the new forms for each state, but also some great marketing pieces if you feel you're stuck with a client that doesn't understand the importance of what you do. Next, the LAER social media assistant. Not going to spend a lot of time on this either because at LAER, we create all your social media pieces for you. So every Monday, you get all of your social media pieces from our marketing team. But if you want to go back and review previous social media pieces that we've created, there's thousands of them under this weekly social media assistant. I also want to point out that we have a section here if you're a LAER agent, if you need a special marketing request, we have a link there. So if you want us to design something for you, or you want like a 4-page brochure for your new listing, we automatically create all of your marketing pieces when you get a new listing. But sometimes you want something more than like a 1-page brochure of your new listing. You want a 4-page brochure to showcase the beauty of your new listing. We can create all that for you at special marketing requests. Under here, open house resources, all kinds of cool stuff for doing open houses. So for interior signs, we've created a whole bunch of interior signs so that if you have a busy open house and you want to highlight certain areas of the property, you can do that. We also created these little popcorn, thanks for popping in tags. So if you want to give out a little gift at your open house to anybody that joins, we created a Canva template of uh, thanks for popping in tags that you print out and tape these to microwave popcorn and have a little basket of microwave popcorn. We also have activity sheets for the kids. By the way, we talked about this uh, in our algorithm class as well. But anytime you're working with buyers or sellers that have kids, it's good to have activities set up for them. We put it under open house here because it's a good idea to have like a little open, like a little kitty corner at your open house. So if a family comes, the parents can spend time checking out the house while the kids are occupied drawing or coloring or doing a word search. So we created a little activity, some activity printouts for kids, and that is under the open house resources section. We also have been building out a section on commercial resources. So 95% of the business we do as a brokerage is residential, but we have a lot of agents that are tapping into commercial. And so we've started building out some great commercial pieces, from a commercial listing presentation to offering memorandums, commercial logos, and then also some commercial training classes at the bottom. So we'll continue to add to that in 2025. But if you're a residential agent interested in exploring commercial real estate, we have some wonderful resources there for you. Next, signs, apparel, and marketing. I'm going to come back to that in a minute because there's a lot to cover there. Next, the ROAR report. If you are a real estate agent who likes to put out a monthly newsletter, we already written all the content for you. So there's two types of newsletters in our business. One is email newsletter, and one is a print newsletter that you can hand out to clients, to vendors, that you can leave at your local coffee shop. I got a nice text message. I live in Littleton, Massachusetts, and I got a nice text message from one of our agents last weekend because he was at the local hardware store, and he said right on the front counter is the ROAR report for Rosemary Kelleher, one of our real estate agents in Westford. So Rosemary takes the ROAR report that we put out monthly. It's a 4-page newsletter for consumers, and it just has like tips of gardening or home repairs. It's a nice, benign little piece to give out and to include in your packages. So this is all meant to be customized to you. You can change out the logo, the name of it, whatever you want. But Rosemary has at the local Abachon Hardware in Littleton, when you go in and you're checking out, right on the front counter is the ROAR report, and it's all custom to Rosemary. That's exactly what agents should be doing with the ROAR report. You can feature vendors in it. If you're mailing it out, some of our agents will work out an agreement with like a mortgage company and say, hey, if you help with paying for the postage, I'll feature you in the on the front cover. Any of the articles can be switched out for like a vendor interview, for example. So that's our ROAR report. A new one comes out each month. This is our St. Patrick's Day March one. But usually by the end of the month, that'll get switched out for the April one. Logos and images. This, if you're a LAER agent, you need a LAER logo. We've got a million of them. You can click on there. Seasonal pop-by tags. Anybody who's taking our algorithm program knows that one of the things our agents do on a regular basis is get out and meet friends, family, potential buyers and sellers, neighbors, and you never want to go empty-handed to somebody's house. You don't want to pop by empty-handed. So we have all these little pop by tags so that it can inspire you. For example, maybe let's find a good one for spring. Easter peeps is a good one. So you can go in and customize this and drop off some peeps to your peeps throughout the month of March or April. I also really like spring seeds. So these are just meant to be customized little tags that you can tape on or tie on to whatever the pop by gift is. But we have them for every season, and that's under pop by tags. Also, we have right on the front page here 2 really cool resources for every real estate agent. Number 1 is the listing description generator. So many of you now are using like ChatGPT to help you with a really good listing description. Sometimes ChatGPT can be a little clunky, so we created this form you can fill out. And by the way, this is for any agent. You don't have to be a LAER agent, where you just fill out this form about your new listing. How many paragraphs do you want? What's your email address? And then tell us about the property and press submit. You'll immediately get an email with a listing description for your property. So the email goes direct to you. You cut and paste it and put it into your MLS description. I always do warn agents that you have to read it and double check it to make sure you are not inadvertently violating a housing law. Occasionally, ChatGPT, which this is based off of, or AI, occasionally it inadvertently includes wording that we shouldn't be using, such as walking distance to parks should not be in your description. So just read through it, make sure that you're not violating any housing laws with that listing description. And then we also have an agent bio generator. If you've been through my algorithm class, you know that it is a pet peeve of mine when agents have terrible bios. Because the first thing in the world we live in, the first thing a consumer does when they meet a stranger is Google the person. So you have to be cognizant of that and do a Google search of your own name to see what comes up. It takes 1 minute to write a really good bio with this app. So same thing, you just go in and put some information about yourself in here and press submit, and the system will email to you. It doesn't go to anyone else. It just goes to you a description of you so that you can update all the links that show in the first page of a Google search. So I'm going to come back because we didn't fully complete the whole marketing and branding and marketing branding presentation section. So I'm going to come back to that, but I want to introduce you to our Chief Sustainability Officer, Craig Foley, who has joined us to give us some updates on the sustainability front. I believe he's freshly back from Alaska, where he was just teaching the green designation. So welcome back home, Craig.
Thank you very much, Stacy. It was interesting. There was it was warmer in Anchorage, Alaska, and less snow than there was back here. It's been a very crazy winter for them.
That's
Highs
crazy.
in the mid-40s, 45s. And I went dog sledding. My
I
wife
saw the
sent me up there.
pictures.
Yeah,
I saw it. That was awesome.
that was really fun. But that's one of the cool things about teaching the designation. I get to go to all these cool places across the United States and learn what's going on in the green building world in Alaska. And, I was blown away, Stacey, to be quite honest with you. They've got the Alaska Housing Finance Corporation has their own green building rating system. And they've got like 200,000 homes of the 450,000 homes in the state of Alaska that have gone through this rating certification process. And they've connected to their MLS and have that information auto pop into the MLS when the listing agent puts in an address
Cool.
that matches to the form. So it's very interesting what they're doing. Yeah, so let me share with you. I'm going to bump you off and go to my presentation. I'm going to go through the presentation fairly quickly, Stace, because I want to get to a couple of specific pieces here. But yeah, this is what we're doing at LAER, looking at the relationship between sustainability, real estate, and our business, how this works. Some information about me. I've had the opportunity to do a lot of cool stuff with NAR, with Fannie and Freddie, looking at valuation of high performance homes, which is, I think, really, really critical. Consumers are engaged in this stuff. They get it. They care about it. This is the reason why Stacy brought me on board in 2019 to join this company, is to look at how we position ourselves to consumers in this place. You know, the intersection of real estate and sustainability is getting a ton of focus all over the place, being very well cited throughout the real estate industry. I'm not going to go into a deep dive on that. This is an image, and I'm going to have to add Connecticut to this as well. An image from the Green Building Registry. So I'm going to throw the Green Building Registry website into the chat here, and I would just encourage you to take a look at, you know, whatever state, whatever community that you're in. I'm going to show you Melrose, where I live, in a little bit. The amount of homes, existing homes, new construction homes, that have gone through significant green building improvements. I mean, you can see that there's a there in this marketplace. I pulled this last year. I'm sure we're up around 200,000 homes now in the state of Massachusetts with significant green building improvements. You know, here's New Hampshire, 7,000 additional homes. Florida, you know, very different political culture than the one we have in Massachusetts. But look at that, over 200,000 homes with significant green building improvements in the state of Massachusetts. So just take a look at that green building registry, pop in, you know, your community's information, see what pops up. You know, in Melrose, about 10% of our homes, including mine, have significant green building improvements. And one of the things that's really important for the Massachusetts agents in particular, this is MLS PIN. When you're listing a home with solar PV, photovoltaics on the home, in the power production category, you have the opportunity to fill in some fields. Now, the way this works, Stacy, in MLS PIN is on the far right. That unspecified button is what pops up automatically. If you say, yeah, my homeowner does have solar on their rooftop, I think it's third-party owned or host-owned, you click one of those buttons, and then this drop-down menu appears. And in the drop-down menu, you've got these red items that many listing agents don't have a clue about what they are. So unfortunately, what I see, and this is bad for the industry, it's bad for the appraisers, it's bad for mortgage companies, it's bad for everybody, buyers that are looking for this kind of stuff, is the listing agent goes back and presses the unspecified button again, so these little things disappear, because if they're in red, you have to fill them out. But guess what? In Massachusetts, the homes that have solar installed before mid-2023 now are in the Green Building Registry. And these 4 fields, the data is in GBR. So there's no excuse for agents in Massachusetts not to be filling out these fields. They just need to know where to get the information. We do a lot of education. I'm going to talk a lot about that in a little bit. We're tracking our high performance home sales, which I don't think there's another brokerage in the country that's doing that. If you're you know, a LAER agent and you're filling out your check request form, please pay attention to this and check any boxes which a home might have. High performance home, or in the state of Florida, we've got their storm protection field from the Beaches MLS as well. So resiliency, high performance energy efficiency features, renewable energy features, all of that should be included. This is from one of the guides that Stacey talked about, the buyer's guide. You know, we do talk about, this is another place where I think agents kind of stick their head in the sand, Stace, and we need to be upfront with this stuff about climate risk, because we're seeing more and more buyers being concerned about this stuff. I mean, Zillow has on their listings for new listings, you can go to any listing and you can scroll down to a climate risk section in which they've engaged a company called riskfactor.com to fill that in. And it's forward looking. It's looking 15 and 30 years into the future. We need to be aware of this stuff. As a listing agent, you do have a right to demand a qualified appraiser. You don't have the right to pick a specific appraiser, but in this specific case, if I'm listing a home with significant high performance features in it, we have a right to demand a qualified appraiser, an appraiser that's gone through the valuation of sustainable buildings program. In Massachusetts, there's 8 of them. I use them regularly, but in Anchorage, Alaska, there's 6 of them just in that in that town, that city. It's just amazing. Again, the stuff I learned when I was in Alaska. And those qualified appraisers need a document called the Residential Green and Energy Efficient Addendum that the Appraisal Institute created in 2009 originally to give the appraiser the information they need to make a case to the bank underwriter about the contributory value of these high performance features. So this is really important, folks, for the listing agents that are out there, right? Listing homes with these significant high performance features. There is a different process for valuation. And if you don't know this stuff, if you're not serving your clients the way you should be, and you're leaving money on the table, it's the worst thing I think an agent can do that's listing a home, is leave money on the table for the seller. We're getting lots of national exposure with this stuff, which is great. But I do want to highlight this, just like the competence that's required for appraisers, in our code of ethics, we have Article 11, which requires competence about the property type that's being valued and have access to the information and resources necessary to formulate an accurate opinion of value. And there is a different process for delivering value for homes with significant high performance features. So I just wanted to throw that out to everybody. And then I'm going to just show you a couple places where you can get the knowledge that you need. Very excited about this, very honored to be delivering this course. So every 3 years, we get funded by NAR to update the green designation. And a lot has happened since the last rewrite that we did. Very honored that National Association of Realtors is having me teach the brand new designation on Zoom. So this is a national class. You can sign up for it. And it will be the first presentation of this new iteration of the green designation. And we made significant changes to the green designation over the course of the last year to release this in May 12th and 13th. So please join us if you're available May 12th and 13th via Zoom at NAR to release this new information. There's some information that is specifically attributable to Stacy in here. We've added an accountability checklist. We highlight the fact that knowledge is not power, accountability is power. So as you go through the presentation, we expect that you're going to be filling in stuff that you can do, whether it's a one-time thing, a weekly thing that you're going to do for marketing, a monthly thing, a quarterly thing, whatever it's going to be, that ultimately gets you to a place where you're listing, I don't know, let's say 6 high performance homes for the year. You're engaging, you're signing, 4 buyer's agency contracts over the next quarter, right? So very specific, tangible places to be able to make this sustainability stuff part of your business. I'll also be teaching the class live for GBAR, for Greater Boston Association of Realtors, June 17th and 18th. This includes 8 continuing ed credits. I love to teach the class live. I think the students really like being in the room together. They become good friends, even though we may be competitors in the marketplace. There's a very special group of people that are green designated agents. And I just want to take you to this green building registry to close out, to make this very, very specific. This is my town, Melrose, Massachusetts, where I live. If I scroll down on this map, for instance, you can see my house here, which is 957 Main Street, Unit 2, Unit 1. Our downstairs neighbor did the renovation the same time we did. But across the street, looking out my window right now at the solar PV system on this rooftop, 960 Main Street. And remember those details that we need in MLS PIN filled out? We need the year it was installed, the size of the system, the annual power production, and who owns the system. Those are the 4 fields in MLS PIN. If you're a Massachusetts agent, you have no excuse not to fill in those fields. We have that information available by a third-party source to be able to make sure we're getting the information that we need into MLS PIN when we're selling a home with solar on the rooftop. And we have now over 150,000 homes in our state. They're transacting daily, and we need to make sure the proper information gets into the MLS. We need competence from agents, listing agents that are selling these homes, which is why I feel so passionate about the green designation, the information we provide to agents, and how to apply that to your business. That's it for me, Stacy, with the updates. Oh, maybe.
No, I'm here.
Okay, there you go.
Just went and got a cup of coffee.
Oh, good for you.
All right. So I like to always remind people that technically you could probably still build a niche around sustainability technically. However, it's becoming like so vitally important to understand sustainability that as a real estate agent, if you are not staying on top of like getting a green designation, you're slowly becoming a liability. Maybe not even slowly. You are really quickly becoming a liability to your business because there's so much to know. And that's why I'm thankful that I did take the green designation. And but little things, even down to like valuing a property, to just answering very simple questions. It's really difficult for you to serve your clients if you don't have the green designation, in my opinion. So
no question, every team should have a green designated agent.
100%.
And my feeling is, I mean, with Article 11, Stacy, I feel very passionate about this at this point. I'm seeing people mess up transactions in this space. If you're not knowledgeable and competent about solar PV on a rooftop, get a referral fee and send it out to a green designated agent in your state. There's plenty of them out there. I mean,
100%.
serve your clients the way they should be served.
Yep, 100% agree. So thank you for all continuing to always give us great information and keeping us knowledgeable so that we can better serve our customers. So let's go back. Let's see. Going back to the LAER agent services, because we didn't quite finish the entire mortgage or marketing section. My brain is fried from 2 weeks of the flu. I'm back to normal, but definitely my brain is still a little bit fried. Let's see. All right, the piece that we didn't yet cover is under this link here, which is signs, apparel, and marketing. I'm still under marketing, branding, and presentations, but there's some really cool tools I want to make sure you know about under signs, apparel, and marketing. So this is where you go. If you're a LAER agent, you want to get like LAER swag, business cards, sweatshirts, hats, you name it, you can get it here. But that's not the cool part. The cool part is if you scroll down to the very bottom is print marketing. I probably shouldn't put print marketing after the sustainability guy. I'm going to think about that for next month. But I do think there's room for print marketing in our business, such as like mailings and stuff like that, because it is an opportunity to stand out from 3 million other real estate agents. So we started today by saying, one of the pieces that is really important in our business is um, positioning ourselves to standing out. And the way that we can do that, or one of the ways that we can do that, is by engaging in print marketing or mailers. So specifically, I wanted to give you a couple of products that I think are cool. Actually, let me stop sharing for 1 second because I actually built out a little presentation that covers all of these. By the way, I like to always say I don't get paid by any of these companies, so um, I am not saying that they're great because I'm going to get some sort of residual income from you buying their products. That is not the case. I just think they're all great products, which is why I recommend them. As well, one of the things that I always say about real estate business is anytime you can find a if you can find a set it and forget it system in your real estate business, then you have to participate in it. Set it and forget it means that you can become a force multiplier for your business because you have tools working for you, even when you're not working the tools. And these are some of the print marketing specifically pieces that are set it and forget it so that they're working for you, building your business, creating consistency, keeping you in front of the eyeballs of people you want to be doing business with without you having to think about all of it. So the number one piece is MLSmailings.com. This is a company that does mailers of just listed, just sold postcards. And anytime you list a property or anytime you sell a property, in my opinion, you should be sending out 100 or 200 just listed, just sold postcards because it positions you. It tells everybody in that neighborhood, I just sold this house. It tells everybody in the neighborhood, I just listed this house. So it positions you, it gets you to top of mind awareness for everybody in the neighborhood, especially because you're probably going to be sending two of them, one that you just listed or one that you just sold, or at a minimum, if you just sold it, send it out because it positions you above and beyond the other 3 million real estate agents because you are actively working within the market. So MLS Mailings is not your typical mailing company. By the way, this is the pricing for their postcards. It's basically to send 100 regular size postcards, it's like $100. If you want a jumbo postcard, it's $127. That includes printing and the postage, everything. But specifically, what makes MLS mailings unique is that it hooks to your MLS. So you set it up once, you put your photo, your contact information, your logo, and then you tell the system, hey, every time I list a property, I want 200 of these going out to all the surrounding neighbors. Every time I sell a property, I want 200 of these going to all of the surrounding neighbors. So all of it is automated. The system will email you. So you'll get an email notification saying, here's the postcard we're about to send. So you could stop it if you wanted to, but why would you want to? Anytime you can find a set it and forget it system, something that's just working for you, you must sign up for it because every real estate agent eventually gets to a breaking point in their business that they can't do more business. So in order to prevent that, you want to have systems and tools working for you so that it keeps getting you more business even while you're doing business. So that's MLSmailings.com. The second one is TPMCO, the Personal Marketing Company. TPMCO does all kinds of mailers, postcards, etc. And they're all great, but the one specifically I recommend to real estate agents is for $48, a one-time payment of $48. that they will send 21 mailings to whoever you put into this program for 5 years. So, in my opinion, anytime you have a closing with a client, a buyer or seller, you should put them into the 5-year campaign with TPMCO. Small investment, $48. And then over that 5 years, you'll see here's a list of everything. They get a letter, a thank you letter, 10 issues of a magazine. So 10 of those mailings will be a magazine, and 10 of those will be a postcard. So this is kind of what they look like. Everything has your picture, your contact information, etc. But it's like over 5 years, you don't have to think about sending anything to the client. Um, why is it so important? Well, 70% of consumers say direct mail is more personal than email. I believe that. I can actually open my mailbox and get through the 6 pieces of mail that I get. I have a really hard time getting through all the emails on a regular basis because people are inundated with technology and emails. So much easier to be seen and heard in a regular mailbox these days than an email box. Um, this is the big reason, though, that I highly recommend this particular product. And this is a National Association of Realtors statistic. 89% of buyers say they would use their agent again or recommend their agent to others. However, according to the National Association of Realtors, only 11% actually use the same real estate agent again. And in my opinion, that is because we lose touch. We're not staying in touch with the person because we get busy. So we close the transaction. And what do we do as soon as we close that transaction? We're on to the next transaction. So by creating a checklist manifesto where as soon as the deal closes, the person goes right into the TPMCO. For 5 years, you're staying in touch and you don't even have to think about it. By the way, they should also go into your email database and stuff like that. But even if you forget to do all the other stuff, you're staying in touch over the 5 years. So $48 per client, that includes everything, the postage, etc. It's a one-time charge. It is truly set it and forget it. Like just set it up, and for 5 years, that person who just closed on a house with you is going to hear from you. And it's great content. It's like they're going to get 10 magazines with you on the cover of the magazine, plus some postcards, etc. So if you want some samples, this is a QR code you can scan with your phone. The personal marketing company will send you like a little sample packet so you can see the quality of their stuff. The personal marketing company, tpmco.com. Number 3, Wise Pelican. I honestly love Wise Pelican marketing pieces. They're just, the quality is amazing. Couple things I love about Wise Pelican as a print marketing option for you is, first of all, for many of you, when you go in to design a postcard, you can just go in and search your brokerage and it'll bring up all the branded pieces for you. So you don't have to start from zero designing a piece. It's all been designed for you, especially if you're in one of the big brokerage houses. We're not even a huge brokerage house. We have 800 agents. And if you go and design in Wise Pelican, you can select LAER Realty, and it's just going to pull up all of the pieces, all the branded pieces for you. So all of our colors are already in there. The other cool thing I love about Wise Pelican is, like, if you want to do a mailer about your new listing, for example, or a brochure about your new listing, it has this little button that says load from MLS. And then you just fill in once and it'll save it, the MLS info, and It will create your piece. You don't have to go cut and paste and pull over like what is the property address, stuff like that. It's going to pull everything right from your multiple listing service. The other piece I like about Wise Pelican, they have a section in there for a QR code, which is for a free home value report. Now, they have one, even if you don't have your own home value reporting system, Wise Pelican still will create a landing page for you so that you can have a home value. You can basically have your own lead collection spot. If you're a LAER agent, I recommend that this QR code be your landing page in Fellow. We'll talk about Fellow in a little while because it's a game changer for your business, complete game changer. But if you are a LAER agent, I feel this now should be your Fellow instant home value report link. If you're at another brokerage or you're not using Fellow, doesn't matter, Wise Pelican will still create a home value link for you to collect the information. So Wise Pelican also allows you to buy lists. You can buy mailing lists. It also does every door direct mailings, meaning you don't even have to have a list. Let's just say you wanted to mail to your entire neighborhood to let them know that you live and work in the neighborhood. Wise Pelican can do that through every door direct, which is even less expensive than bulk mail. The next one is RSP USA. RSP USA is also a mailing service. Specifically, I love these for Florida, and many of our Florida agents use it. So a couple things they do really well. They do home value postcards, kind of like what we just saw with Wise Pelican. Secondly, they have you can create your own campaigns in RSP USA. So let's just say under TPMCO, that person, that if you put somebody into the personal marketing company for 5 years, that person's going to get a postcard with you. What's cool about RSP USA is you can build your own campaigns. So let's just say you chase expired listings, you go after expired listings, you can create expired listing campaigns. So for example, you could see here, hey, I want 5 cards to go to that person over 5 weeks for my expired campaign. So for $8.65, I can create a 5-card campaign with RSP USA so that every time there's an expired listing I've reached out to, I can just send them, put them into the campaign. So that's RSP USA. By the way, they have one other product. I don't think I got a picture of it. No, I didn't. The other one that RSP USA also does is, the reason I love it for Florida is because in Florida, we have those huge homeowners associations with like thousands of units. And in 2 seconds, you can do a newsletter about any of the associations, and it will show the consumer all the recent sales within the association. So it's a really nice marketing piece. Number 5 cool technology for your business is Showami. Showami is on-demand showing agents. So all that is let's just say that you need somebody to go show a house for you tomorrow at noon because you are at a baby shower, but your client really needs to see this property. If you go to Showami, you can actually hire a real estate agent to go show the property for you. If you're a LAER agent, we're actually building this in-house. It's going to be called Lion Link. And because we have 800 agents, we want to make it super easy for our agents to get help from one another. So we designed it using pieces from Showami and some other companies as well to build a really unique product that will be available for our agents to get help from one another. The next cool app is Exposio, the Exposio app. Now, I'm a huge fan of professional photography. Professional photography on your listings is necessary because you're auditioning for your next listing. Every time you get a listing, you're auditioning for your next listing. So you should make everything look picture perfect. So I think every property should have professional photography. That being said, in some markets, agents don't like to invest in professional photography. It's typically in markets where houses sit longer and a lot of inventory simply doesn't sell. So the agent doesn't want to make a big investment um, in photography when the property may not sell. In those instances, there is an app called Exposio. If you're taking photos with your iPhone or Android, this will make your photos look like they were professional photos. So it re-exposes the photos that you take. It costs around $1 per image. Basically, how it works is that you upload all the photos you took, and then it re-exposes all of the photos so you can see it on the back end in the system. And then you could select the ones you want to pay for. And the ones you pay for, which are typically around $1 a photo, and there's other pricing plans if you do a lot of them, but the ones that you pay for, you then download and you upload into your listing. The next one is Yellow Letters Complete. Yellow Letters Complete is a great product if you love doing handwritten note cards. And I don't mean just one handwritten note card. If you're doing 1 or 5 or 10 handwritten note cards, you can handle that. But let's just say that for St. Patrick's Day, you want to send out 300 handwritten note cards to everybody in your sphere with a $1 scratch ticket for um, uh, a luck of the draw little personal note card and scratch ticket to everybody in your database. Yellow Letters Complete is who you would hire to do that. Basically, they have two different things you can order. One is they have AI note cards. So for your 200 note cards, they'll just have AI computer make it look like it's a handwritten note card. And for those of you that say, no, I could tell it's AI right as soon as I look at it, I want actual handwritten note card. They will do that too. They have a team that will actually handwrite the 200 note cards for you. Next up is Markful. Markful.com. When you go to Markful at LAER, we have a LAER store within Markful. I love Markful because you don't want to be a secret agent. I think every agent should have a name tag and business cards and stuff like that so that everybody knows what you do. And number 9, for great technology, if you're considering investing in your business this year through some marketing platforms, the reason I love homes.com is because if you invest in homes.com and become one of their premier agents, the pricing on that, by the way, is dependent on how many listings you did over the last 12 months. So if you had a low listing inventory year last year, you will benefit because you won't pay as much this year for homes.com. But homes.com is just like Zillow, except the leads go on each listing. It features the listing agent, not a random real estate agent who is paying for the lead. So homes.com, what makes it different than all the other search platforms is it does feature the listing agent on all of their listing materials within the program. And that is basically the 10 cool pieces of technology. Let's go back for a second to LAER agent services and do a quick recap. By the way, while I'm pulling up LAERagentservices.com, I want to go through some of the things you could be executing on based on what we just covered. because your goal today is to execute on even 5 items from what we share today our in our program. So what we've already said is you need a listing presentation, a buyer presentation, a buyer package, a seller package, and an investor package. So those are 5 items that you're going to go execute on if you don't have those items. Here's a few more that you can execute on based on some additional stuff that we've covered so far this morning. MLSmailings.com for set it and forget it mailers. TPMCO.com, thepersonalmarketingco.com for every transaction that closes with you should be in TPMCO. If you're not using it, I would go in and add anybody that closed a house with you in the last 12 months should be in TPMCO.com. Next, agent bio generator. Only because this is my pet peeve is when I always say in our Algorwin class, if you Googled you, would you hire you? Because the first thing most consumers are going to do when they're referred to you as a real estate agent is Google your name. And so it's really important to Google your name and see what comes up on the first page of a Google search. And then on all those items that are on the first page of a Google search, you should have a professional photo of you and a professional bio. Because a professional bio is like a resume, and the consumer, like we as real estate professionals, are applying for a job every time we sit with a buyer and the seller. So we want to make sure that our presentation, our resume, our bio, our photo are on point because we are positioning ourselves against 3 million other real estate agents. So this bio generator is important if you don't have a really strong bio. This will create one for you in less than 5 minutes. And don't forget to go Google yourself and see what comes up, because your Facebook is usually going to come up in the first page of a Google search, your company website, your personal website, but there's a few that might surprise you. You have a realtor.com bio page, a Zillow bio page, and a homes.com bio page. And usually at least 2 out of 3 of those will show up on the first page of a Google search. And for most of you, you did not create the page. Those platforms create it for you. So Zillow created a bio page for you. Realtor.com and homes.com created one for you as well. All of them will allow you to go in and customize it. So all of them will allow you to go in and update your photo and update your bio so that when somebody falls on your page, your bio, because oftentimes those sites are coming up on the first page of a Google search. If somebody searches your name in real estate, all 3 of them will allow you to go in and claim your account so that you can make changes to it. So just Google, for example, how do I change my homes.com profile? How do I change my Zillow.com profile? How do I change my realtor.com profile? All 3 of those should be updated because they're probably going to come up in a Google search. All right, so we finished the entire marketing and branding section. We're now going to head down to agent growth and development. There's a few things that I want for you guys to see here. Number 1, under classes, meetings, and coaching, couple things. Number 1, this should be on your list of things to do, things that you're going to execute on. Whoops, I clicked on the wrong one. YouTube, our YouTube training channel. If you go to youtube.com/LAER training, then it will take you to our YouTube station. And the reason why you should subscribe to this page is because just like you saw with our marketing pieces today, there's no junk content. We don't put content out there just to put our name on junk. Everything we do is organized. We spend a great deal of time making sure that we deliver good information. We never waste the time of somebody that participates in the stuff that we offer. So if you subscribe to our YouTube station at youtube.com/LAER training, you will never miss any of our classes. One of the classes that we launched this year, I'll show you some more of this in a minute, but we are smack dab in the middle right now of our 12-week Algorand program. And you can actually head over to YouTube if you want to get involved and be part of this weekly call. Every Monday at 10:30, it's a live session, but you can also go watch the first 5 sessions. It's a 12-week total program. We've already done our first 5 weeks of the program, and you can go watch all of the classes, but you'll see like literally hundreds of people are participating in this program because it is a step-by-step system on how to build a successful real estate business. If you participate in the program and actually follow the checklist manifesto of the program, you can expect to close 30 transactions per year. So you can go watch that. Anyways, there's tons of content here under our YouTube station. So at least subscribe to the YouTube station so that you'll just get a little ping message on your phone every time we add new content. Nothing crazy. It's like 3 or 4 classes per week that get added. Always fresh, always new content. So go over and subscribe to our YouTube station. Let's see, a couple things I do want to point out before I show you our coaching. I'm still under agent growth and development here. If you click on business plans and growth systems, under here you will find 3 different links. So this is the time of year that typically agents are working on business plans for the year. And if you are looking for a simple business plan, we actually have that. It's right in the middle here, a business planning guide. This is like a 40-page fill in the blank workbook. It's actually kind of cool if you actually go through it if you have a team, for example, you can go through the program, invite your whole team to a meeting, and then you guys can write out your goals and stuff like that together. So this is a typical business plan for a real estate agent. It's what you would see if you Googled business plan for real estate agents. But next to that is our Algorand system that I've mentioned a few times throughout today's program. Some of you are actually doing the Algorand program with us right now. And so if you go to laerrealty.com/Algorand, you can actually download our entire booklet. So we wrote a workbook. This is a growth system. It is not a business plan. It is a growth system. It is a checklist manifesto. It tells you what to work on in your business once a year, once a month, once a week, and every time you have a new buyer, a new seller, a new listing, and then for client appreciation or people appreciation events. So you can download the entire workbook right here. Download the Algorand workbook right here so that you can take it. If you want to have the pretty hard copy version, you can order a copy as well. If you're a LAER agent that recently joined, we include the Algorand workbook right in the welcome package when you join the brokerage. So this is a business growth system. And by the way, if you go to laerrealty.com/12-week Algorand, this is the 12-week class that we are smack dab in the middle of right now. And you'll see right at the top, you can download the workbook. And then you can see each of the last 5 classes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for each week, not only do we, you can watch the video, but also you can click here and it'll take you to the slides of that class as well. But this is the most comprehensive system on how to build a successful real estate business, and that is under business planning tools. The next one is a simple plan. This is a third type of business plan that we created for our agents. And this one really, if you want to have monumental results in your business, you have to become a different version of yourself. And what the simple plan does is it has you build an avatar of the person that you would like to become. So let's just say you're a $2 million producing agent. By the way, if you closed $2 million in sales last year total, let's say 5 sales, most likely you're going to close 5 sales this year, and most likely you're going to close 5 sales next year, and most likely you're going to close 5 sales down the road. So that's how this works, because your business becomes a byproduct of what you believe about yourself. So what happens if your current results aren't good enough for you? Then you have to become a different version of yourself to break out of the mold of who you have thus far become. So you have to become a different version of yourself. So this simple plan helps you build an avatar of what does the person look like who does $10 million in sales. So you're still building it around the version of you. You don't have to become a different person. You're just becoming a different version of you. So this plan takes a little different approach to becoming a different version of you by recognizing the avatar you need to become and what is the difference between where you sit right now and the person you need to become in order to achieve your goals. All this is under business planning tools. We also have an IPA, which is income producing activities. If you're slow in your business and you just need to concentrate on something to generate business, we have income producing activities, just a little checklist for you to make sure you're keeping your head in the right place. By the way, on the Algorand program, we also offer a coaching program. I've seen a couple of you have signed up for the coaching recently, and we will start a new coaching session at the beginning of April. I haven't been running the coaching program because we've been doing the live 12-week program, but in April, that 12-week program will be winding down. So we'll go back to offering the coaching sessions for those of you who need coaching under the Algorand program. And you could sign up for that right here. The Algorand coaching sessions. That's taking a second to load. I don't know if it's my computer. There we go. And this is small group coaching. It's all by Zoom. We have a coach that walks our agents through the Algorand program. Okay. So one other thing I just want to point out, there's tons of live classes each week at LAER. Any agent is welcome to participate in our training classes. If you click training calendar, you can see all of our upcoming classes, and you'll see basically like Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, there's always classes. Oftentimes there's stuff on Wednesdays as well. So almost every day there's different types of classes. You're welcome to participate in anything. If you click on this, it'll tell you where to go to watch the class. Typically you just show up at a particular time at laerzoom.com. Also, if you scroll down to the bottom here, you can integrate our training class schedule with your calendar. So if you want to make sure you never miss a live class, you just click this little integration button and it will overlay our calendar onto your calendar. One other piece I wanted to just show you is we have a printable training calendar as well each month. So once a month, this 2-page calendar gets created, and it gives you like a nice place that you can print out everything and see what classes are being offered on what days and what times. And then on the front of the calendar, we always feature parts of the Algoin checklist, because many agents are doing the checklist. And then we have a little highlight section over here. So if you're, I think any agent, definitely a LAER agent, but anybody is welcome to participate in our program. So if you want like a nice place that you could see everything laid out, make sure you head over and print out our training calendar. Okay, let's go back. Let's see, heading down to Agent Toolbox. One couple things I want to point out, and then we're going to talk about some technology. So first off, you got to meet Craig, our Chief Sustainability Officer. We have a house here that is dedicated to sustainability. Typically, what happens is when Craig teaches classes, he shares tons and tons of content. So every time he does a class, we try to capture everything he says, and then we put links to everything right in here. So we have like articles. He talked, for example, about the green building registry, for example. If you didn't write that down, you can always come back, and everything that he typically touches upon, you can find under the sustainability tools section of the site. So that's under sustainability. If you're a LAER agent, this house here is where you get paid. So we make it super easy to get paid quickly on your transactions. If you're a LAER agent, you just fill out LAER check request, and that goes to our bookkeeping department to get you paid quickly. And the other place I wanted you guys to see is agent safety. We built out this page with your safety in mind. We actually wrote our own handbook to real estate agent safety in 2024. As well, we have all kinds of cool little links, such as links to Invisaware, where you can buy cool jewelry and stuff that it doesn't look like it, but it's also an alarm so that you can remain safe in the business. But make sure you download our safety guide. It's at laerrealty.com/safety, and that's just our general booklet on real estate agent safety. And then check out all these little cool links. We keep adding to this all the time so that you can remain safe in the business. Okay. Now let me go back for a second, because I want to go. I'm going to go back to, let me stop sharing for a second. I want to head back to our LAER program and services guide. That's where we started today. That is the 40-page guide of all the tools and resources available at LAER, and that was the launching pad of the program today. We've covered basically all the marketing section of that booklet. So I want to now take you over to the technology section, because we're going to spend the next half an hour or so just talking about technology and how to best utilize it for your business. All right, so this is the LAER program guide. This is where we started this morning, and you will recall that we started right here with marketing and branding. And then the first page we went to was laeragentservices.com. That's where we've spent the last 2 hours of the program. Everything is there. Even as we go and speak about technology for a little while, all the technology is also at LAER Agent Services. So anytime you want to come back to home base to figure out something that we covered today, if you head over to laeragentservices.com, you will find it. One piece that I wanted to give you guys a quick overview of, Sergio, you there? I wanted to have
Hi.
Sergio give you like a really quick overview of the done for you marketing support services available at LAER. I said earlier, we don't really have a lot of listing brochures in our Canva template database because our team creates all that for you as a real estate agent. Same with social media pieces. We create all your social media pieces. I'll have Sergio give you like a 5-minute overview of the resources in case you're a LAER agent. So you know what resources you should be getting on each listing and every Monday for your social media. And then for everybody else, we're going to head over in a few minutes to check out some game-changing technology for your business.
All right. Thanks, Stacy. I'm gonna share my screen. Let me know if you can see it. All right. You see my
Good.
screen?
Yep.
All right. Let me get started. Actually, before I start, I want to say shout out Carolyn Brown for being on here. She recently had a birthday. She's always on our boot camps and every single other training.
Yay. We love Carolyn. Carolyn won an award last year at our Florida Roar Awards for being our boot camp queen because she has come to more boot camps than any other LAER agent. So thank you, Carolyn.
All right, thanks. I'm going to go over a couple of programs that we have for our LAER agents. We have our LAER marketing bundle and our social media assistant. So what is our marketing bundle? So when your listing goes live on the MLS, so that's when it's live, not when it's coming soon, our team gets to work. We create a marketing package, a branding package for you, for your listing. That includes a brochure as well as social media pieces that cover the whole transaction of your home. So all the way from just listed to just sold. This is delivered to you within 24 hours of your listing going live on the MLS, and it's delivered to you via email. So I'm going to give you a live demo of what that looks like. So you'll get an email that looks just like this. It'll have the address of your listing, and then it says your concierge marketing package. So again, this is delivered via email. So if you can't find it in your email, what I like to do is just do a search for concierge. We don't get many emails that have that word in it, and it'll pop right up. You can also do a search for your listing address, but it comes from our happyagents@laerrealty.com email address. If you don't see it, let us know. You can email into happyagents@laerrealty.com, and we can make sure that these are getting out to you. So in the email, we have a few links. If you want to just use your bundle right away, there is a download bundle link here. We can click on this. This takes you over to a Google Drive folder. You don't have to be signed into Google or Google Drive to use it. It does help because you can save that Google Drive folder for future reference, but you'll receive in a folder that looks just like this. Now these pieces are ready to use. We have a PDF here of your brochure, which you can print directly from this view here, or you can download it as a PDF, send it over to print professionally. You can make changes to it via Canva templates. I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. And then we have our social media pieces. We have featured listing, new listing, etc. These are all just PNGs, so they're ready to use. So you can open up this email on your phone, download the image to your phone and post to social media. Or you can use a content scheduler like Canva or any other content scheduler to post to any social media. It doesn't have to be Facebook or Instagram, it can be anything. We include, for our listings, we have our preferred closing partner, just a flyer, and then we have an open house sign-in sheet. Let's go back. Like I mentioned, we give you Canva templates, and in fact, we give you Canva templates for any design that we give to you at LAER. We try to make it easy for our agents to customize all of their marketing pieces. So we have two links. We have one for brochure, Now, for these pieces specifically, you don't need the paid version of Canva. For the marketing bundles themselves, we try to make it so, you can use these as is with the free version of Canva. The photos are photos that you got on your own, so you don't have to worry about copyright. And then we try to use fonts that are not the premium fonts. To make changes to this, it's very easy. I'm going to make a copy of this because there is a live listing. But let me show you how easy it is to just make a quick update. So if I want to change over some of the photos, I just have some sample images here from my computer. I can upload them, and very easily I can just click and drag and change the photo. Now, each of these squares here will take a photo. You can think of it as a photo frame, where if I click and drag, it will snap right into place. Now, sometimes you might accidentally put the photo in the middle here, but when you intended it to go on the right-hand side here, there is an undo button. And then as long as you don't let go of the mouse, you should be able to bring it over to where it needs to be. You can adjust the photo within the frame by double clicking. Let's say you want less of the ceiling. You can very easily adjust and then click done. Once you're ready to use your piece, and you can update any of this, like if you have a price change down the line, you can just click in here, change the price. If you want to change your contact information, your photo. Once you're ready to use it, you just click on share, download. Now we can download this as a PDF print to print out professionally. You can do a PDF standard size. This makes the PDF file smaller so you can send it out as email. You can even download this as a JPEG if you want to put it on social media for some reason, or whatever you want to do with it. You have all these options. So it's the same thing with our social media pieces here. Now, again, these are ready to use, but we also include two other pieces at the bottom that we don't include them in the Google Drive folder just because we don't have the information yet. One of them is a customized open house piece with a date, right? So if you have an open house that's coming up that has a date and time, you can put in your date and time here very easily, and then share and download, right? And then we have a new price piece as well. So if you did have a price change down the line, you can just add the new price here, click share, and then you can download it. Now you can actually post to social media directly from Canva. If you click on share, we'll go to see all and scroll down to social. You'll see these different channels. I'll click see all again. These channels you can connect to your own social media accounts. If you have an Instagram, a Facebook, Twitter, or X, you can connect these. And then once you have it connected, you can just click on one and then post to social media. I don't have anything connected to this particular account, but it's very easy. You just choose the account, you add in the description, and then you can post it. Now, with the free version of Canva, it will post directly, right? So, but you can, if you have a Canva Pro, you can schedule out your posts. So you can kind of sit and schedule them out and then have them send out when you have more popular times. Now that is the marketing bundle. We have an option here too, if you click down here, to order a 4-page brochure. So if we click on post type 4-page brochure, give us information about your listing, but most importantly, make sure that you upload photos for your listing. We need at least 16 photos. Let me show you what that brochure looks like. The reason we need that many photos is because we fill out this nice brochure that prints out on 11x17 paper. A lot of our offices have a printer that can handle this size paper, so you can print them out at our offices. We don't create these for every listing, just, if you have a small apartment, obviously you're not going to have that many photos. But if you did have a nice luxury apartment or house or anything like that, you can request one of these marketing 4-page brochures. We can create one for you and send it to you as a PDF. And of course, we always give you the Canva template. If you want to go in, change some photos around, you can do so. All right, so the next program that I will cover that we have for our LAER agents is our LAER social media assistant. I'll try to go quick. So as a LAER agent, every Monday you receive both a text and email with all the social media you need for the whole week, right? So this includes 7 to 10 social media posts. These are delivered to you as ready to post images, as well as Canva templates. The images are very compelling. They're all real estate related. You might get a holiday or two, but you won't get, National Donut Day. You can get those anywhere. We try to give you nice, compelling real estate related content. Also, as part of that content, we include suggested captions and hashtags. So while you might have a nice, compelling image, sometimes you don't know what to say. We give you a whole caption that ends up being almost like a little mini article that you can use. You can use that suggested caption. We call it a suggested caption because it's a suggestion. You can go in, change it, add your own point of view, make it reflect your local market. And then for the hashtags as well, we give you a lot of hashtags, and then you can go in, change some of them around. Let me give you a live demo of what that looks like. So you'll receive an email that looks just like this. You also get it as a text message, but I'm just going to go over the email part. It's the beginning of the month. So we include a Facebook cover that you can use both for New England and Florida. And then we have our posts. We have here the suggested caption. As you can see, they're very thorough. And then we have our image. All right, these are all ready to use. All you need to do is just download the image. And then for the email, you can just select your caption and hashtag. So let me see if I can give you a live demo of that one. I need to set up my Facebook. But again, you get this via email and text message. If you don't see it, let us know. We can make sure that you're subscribed to our list. So let's do a quick demo on how to post this. I'm in Facebook. You don't have to use Facebook. Again, you can use any platform. If you find you have a lot of traffic in LinkedIn, you can use LinkedIn or Twitter, X, or whatever it's called now. We'll add a photo, and then we're going to paste in our caption. Now, keep in mind this caption is fairly long, so for something like X, they have a character limit, so you might need to trim it. And again, you do want to change this around to fit your local market, to give it your own point of view. And we have a section here that you can add your contact information. You can do that. I'll just remove it on my end. And then we have these hashtags. You can keep them all, or you can add some of them. I'll keep it as is. Once I'm ready to post, I can just hit post. On Facebook itself, there is a schedule post button that you can use. In this case, I'm just going to click on post. And just like that, I've made my post. I have my whole caption here and our image. And that is a live demo. Again, if you don't see this, let us know. We want to make sure that everyone is getting these, and you do need to be a LAER agent to receive these, both via email and text. If you don't want to keep getting the text message, we have some of our agents that will opt out. You can just reply stop to that, but you will always receive that email. If you have any questions about any of this, you can always email us at happyagent@laerrealty.com. That's it for me.
All right, awesome stuff. Let me Let me pull up my booklet again. Okay, let's see. All right, so we're back at the LAER Program and Services Guide. That's kind of just a brief overview that you got to see from Sergio of all the marketing stuff we create automatically for you if you're a LAER agent. We also have, I mentioned earlier, if you're a LAER agent, we boost for 7 days all new listings on Facebook, Instagram, and also anywhere that allows for pay-per-click advertising. We do all that automatically. You don't have to touch anything. You'll receive an email that we're about to run the ad in case you want to change any of the ad. You got to see the done for you weekly social media assistant that we do each week. And now we're going to head over to the technology section of our guide. So the technology section covers, there's all kinds of different technology that you get at LAER. First of all, we automatically provide you .loop or app files depending on what state you're in, showing time, Cloud CMA, the Boost by HomeSpotter, and then we also offer a complete G Suite for agents that want it. One of the things that agents ask when they join any brokerage is, are there any monthly fees associated with being with the brokerage for technology? At LAER, we have an optional $39 per month tech bundle, and it includes 3 products, which I want to cover briefly. Even if you are not a LAER agent, these are 3 really unbelievable products for your business, which is why we choose to partner with them. So the 3 products that you get under the $39 a month tech bundle are Fellow, which is a CRM, set it and forget it product. Boston Logic, which is an agent website, and third, Real Scout. Real Scout, which is a property search portal. It's like being your own Zillow. So one of the things when we do our buyer presentation, we're telling the consumer not to shop for real estate on Zillow, but also we don't want to set them up in an MLS search, because that's the reason people go to Zillow is because they hate the MLS search. So we need something that's as good as a Zillow search, but it's not Zillow, and that is Real Scout. So let's talk about each of these 3 products. Now, at LAER, we charge $39 a month total for all 3 products, which is a steal. If you were to go get these 3 products, you'd be paying about $379 per month, $379 a month for all 3 products. Even at $379 per month, I would recommend all 3 of them. The most expensive, the largest of the investment, is in Fellow. So Fellow is a set it and forget marketing system, which sends a report to anybody in your database. It sends them a home value report every 2 weeks. So you put everybody into your Fellow account. Every 2 weeks, they will get a home value report. And through the back end of your Fellow account, you get to see who in your database is maybe interested in selling their property. So every lead or every prospect within your Fellow account is given a lead score from 0 to 100, with 100 meaning this person is about ready to sell their house. So what's cool about Fellow is most real estate agents have some sort of database with hundreds of people in it, but we treat everybody in those databases the same, that they're getting like a monthly newsletter, and like we're putting them on a campaign to go visit them regularly, things like that. But what Fellow allows you to do is to efficiently manage your time by focusing on the people that are most likely to convert. So you go into the back end of your fellow, and you can see the consumers that are engaging in those emails that go out to them every 2 weeks. Who is clicking through the emails? Who is evaluating their home value report? By the way, it gives 3 different home values. When the consumer receives the report, it's got 3 home values. And it also allows the agent to go in and create your own home value. And sometimes agents say one of the objections to the fellow program is, well, the home values aren't accurate because it's an AVM. First of all, AVMs are never 100% the value of the property. It's an automated valuation based on all the information we have without sending a human out to the property to look at it. The property is worth somewhere around this amount. It doesn't really matter whether the valuation is accurate or not, because we don't care about that. All we care about is who is actually engaging and interested in clicking on their home value report and then reaching out to them, because you are the professional. Fellow allows you to log into your account each week and say, these are the 10 people who are engaging in my emails. So then you call those 10 people and say, hey, I noticed that that you were checking out your home value report on my email that I sent you. What did you think of the value? Is it too high? Is it too low? Or is it just right? It doesn't matter what the answer is, because the purpose is to get the phone call, to have the reason for the phone call. So then you have a conversation and say, I could come over and do a market analysis. By the way, the fellow platform tells the consumer within the platform that they can request a CMA if they want their agent to come over and give them a more accurate valuation of the property. But we don't want you to wait for somebody to ask for a CMA or a cash offer. We want you to log in each week, see who has the highest lead scores. You can sort all of your contacts by lead score, and then reach out to those contacts with a very simple dialogue. I saw that you were looking at the value of the property when I sent it over this week. What did you think of the value? Is it too high? Is it too low? Or is it just right? If you're a LAER agent, you have the fellow system and you have not engaged in it yet, please, please, please go in and learn it. It's very simple. You can go watch a class at laerrealty.com/fellow, where we do a comprehensive overview of the entire program. The reason this is so important, I sent out an email yesterday and I said, we've had 20 plus transactions come out of fellow in the last 45 days. But we've also lost transactions because we could see through the back end of the system when a consumer lists their property, whether it's with our brokerage or not. So we could see that people are engaging in communication through the fellow system, and that sometimes our agents are not following up and picking up the phone and saying that dialogue. Like, what'd you think of the value? Too high, too low, or just right? But another agent somewhere else is. So we can see, we could pull a report of the people who just listed their real estate with somebody else as well. So laerrealty.com/fellow. It's really important. It's not difficult to learn, very simple to learn. It's a super simple platform, but it helps you take your database of 300 people and allows you to go in each day and say, hey, don't spend your time focusing on the fact that you have 300 people. Here's the 5 that you need to be focused on. Second part of the program, our $39 a month tech bundle, is a Boston Logic website. I'm really excited at LAER because we just hired Sarah Dutra, who is giving a brand new, fresh just a freshening up of all our agent websites. So she's been working on some beautiful templates. We're going to be refreshing all of you agents who already subscribed to our tech bundle. We're going to be going one by one and just giving them a brand new, fresh take. Also, she's making it, because we've now implemented the fellow program with many of you opting into our tech bundle, we want to make sure on the front page of your agent website that there's a spot where the consumer can get their instant home value report, and that instant home value report goes right into Fellow. So we're creating all of it for you. You don't have to do it. We're going to take the initiative, not only give your site a refresh, but also we're going to make sure all of the links work so that all of your leads go right into the Fellow account. So you can start converting people that come through. The third part of the tech bundle is Real Scout. Like I said, this is you becoming your own Zillow. If you're using MLS for property search, meaning you have buyers that you're working with, and they're looking at real estate, and you have them set up in a MLS search of real estate, you're going to lose business. You're going to lose business because all of the MLSs, I'm not picking on anyone in particular, that's not like, they're not in the business to deliver an amazing experience to the consumer who's searching real estate. Real Scout's sole function is to deliver an amazing experience to the consumer who is shopping real estate. If you're using an MLS search for real estate, you're going to lose customers to Redfin and Zillow and other places where the consumer can go get a better search experience. But if you're using Real Scout, you're not going to have that issue because you're delivering an even better search than the other platforms provide. It's beautiful, it's organized, it's real time, it's accurate. So Ashley from our tools team is going to give you a quick rundown on best practices. We have 10 things that you want to know to make sure you're getting the most out of Real Scout for property searches.
Hi, Stacy. Thank you. So I am going to go through and update this because Real Scout, I've been using it myself for my clients, and I've noticed that they've added a couple different new things that, you know, they don't let us know that they're adding. So I got to refresh my little presentation as well. If you are a LAER agent and you do have the tech bundle and you're not sure how to set up a client on Real Scout, you can fill out a form, laerrealty.com/briefings. I am going to go ahead and share my screen. And as Stacy mentioned, Real Scout to me and my clients, it's more user-friendly, it's more interactive, and the listings and the information about the list is so much easier to read how Real Scout has them laid out. Okay, why? See all, present. Okay, can you see my screen? I believe you can. Okay, so I always like to start out with, is there an app for it? Of course, there's an app for everything. So there's two different versions. There's an agent app and a client app. The big difference is for the agent app, the background's going to be black with a white house. If it is white background with a black house, you've downloaded the consumer side. And the agent version of the Real Scout app for the mobile app will say Real Scout Agent Dashboard. If you download the Real Scout Home Search one, that's the client version. So those are just two kind of quick ways you can tell which app. The next thing is that, how can I market my Real Scout platform? Because each Real Scout platform is unique to that agent. There's two different links. One of them is the first link that you can use for clients to invite them to create their own search. you will still be able to see what they're looking at, what they're searching in your dashboard. And then the second link is for prospective clients. You can invite them to onboard. And then once they complete that link, their information will be in your dashboard. So two great ways that you can self-generate leads. You can use them in social media posts, videos, emails, mailers. You can take these links and create a QR code, make it easy that way as well. The next thing is I get questions when I do the one-on-one sessions. Well, what if I have 2 licenses? Can I have 2 or 3 licenses associated with my Real Scout account or MLSs? The answer is yes, you can. Now, if you have more than 1 license, you will have what's called the cross MLS search, and that's because you have the 2 or 3 different MLSs. So if you have somebody who wants to look just in New Hampshire, but you're licensed in Maine, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts, you will just have to select the drop-down arrow, and then you'll have to select what MLS they want. If they want MLS PIN for Mass, New Hampshire, or Maine, or whatever state it might be. I am gonna preface this with Real Scout does allow you to search by school district or school boundaries within a town. If you have a client who is looking in, say, New Hampshire and Massachusetts, or Massachusetts and Connecticut, that more specific feature of the school district will go away, and it'll just be more of a basic search. So the school boundary is if you just search one MLS. So I do like to notate that. How do you add a client? Super easy. There's a client alert button up here. You add their email. I always add their first name, their last name, and the source. So that way when I'm doing a check request or I'm just looking at houses, I know if, you know, I need to thank a friend, or if it's from Veterans United or Up City or something like that. You can tag them as a buyer, a seller, buyer and seller, or other. So that's something that Real Scout recently introduced is tags. So you can label your sources. The next thing is the search criteria. So you would just go through, you have the same search criteria as MLS, some additional ones such as the school boundaries. If they want to be in a specific subdivision, a specific neighborhood, you can add that as well. If they want specific amenities, you can add that as well. Once you create the search, you're going to save it to your client. And what I like about Real Scout, especially this feature, is that once you create the alert and you set up the alert schedule, I always have my alert schedule set up to ASAP. So anytime a property comes on, my clients are notified. I also get notified because you can do send copy to yourself. So this is great if you're on the road all day showing properties and you're not going to be able to check MLS. You're still going to be able to check your emails to see what properties have come in. And then once you get back to your computer, you can go into Real Scout and you can see on your dashboard any of the activity your clients have done. You can see if they've liked a property, disliked a property, what they've rated a property, what they've liked about that specific property. There's different ways that you can search. So you can draw your own shape. You can draw a polygon. You can do a radius. So if you have somebody who needs to be within, say, 10 miles of you know, the center of town of where they work, you can search by that. You can also draw a rectangle. And I will say, when you are doing the shapes, you need to do a first point, a second point, a third point, and then your third point has to be connected to the last point or your first point. If you don't connect your last point to your first point, it's not going to close the shape and it's not going to do the search for that perimeter because the shape is incomplete. Again, as I mentioned, you can search by school district, certain association names, developments, subdivisions. Super easy to search. Another question I get frequently, and that's why I have this in this little quick guide, is how do I update a client search? Super easy. On the left side, you're going to have like your navigation panel. You just click on contacts. It's going to bring up all of your contacts. You would click on the client name. And then once you open the client name, whatever alert you wanted to edit, you would just go over and click the view/edit button or the edit button. it'll bring you to the main page of where all of the listings are or all of the matches are. And then you would just click edit filters, go through whatever filters you need to edit, and then just save it. Because if you don't click save, it's not going to save it. So you want to make sure you always click save. And then if there's any new matches, it'll ask you if you want to send them to the clients now or not. If you don't want to send them, there is a way that you can send them manually. So there is that. So it's super easy to update. Auto nurture for clients. What I like about this is that if your clients start to look at, say, 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, but the search is set up for 3-bedroom, 1-bath, and they start looking at 2-bedroom, 1-bath, auto nurture will start to send them houses that are geared towards the 2-bedroom, 1-bath, as well as the 3-bedroom, 1-bath. So there's different features like that, and it's a great way to stay top of mind. And if there's not enough data, then the auto nurture will automatically create an email campaign with relevant listings. So again, a great way to stay top of mind, keep your clients off of Zillow, Realtor.com, any other third-party search sites. I love this feature, the monthly market activity report. I like to call it a heat map. You can use it for both buyers and sellers. And what this does is it'll show you and your clients just how much buyer activity there has been in a specific town, or you can hone in on the town and do a specific area of a town by drawing a shape for a specific price range. So this is going to give you the number of buyers and the number of buyer interactions throughout the month. So you could do 30, 60, 90, 180, 365 days. This data is strictly pulled from the RealScout platform. It doesn't take into account anything from MLS. It also is going to show you a breakdown day by day or week by week, how many active buyers there were in that specific area. It's going to give you the top viewed listings, anything that was recently listed. And then up here on this heat map, you can see all of these bright colors are all where the hot properties are. And I actually used this last year when I was writing an offer for my clients, and we structured our offer a little differently. And they ended up winning the offer and closing on the house about 35 days later because we had a little hiccup. So you can use this to write offers as well and to kind of get a leg up. On the flip side, can I use this for my sellers? Of course you can. So what I do when I use this for my sellers is I use it to help back up the price that I'm suggesting that we list at, because this is relevant data and it shows them, right? Not just what's on market, what's sold and what's pending, but they can also see within the last 30 days in a heat map, like where the hot properties are. They can see what's going on in their neighborhood, or they can see what's going on in their town. And I used this last year and it kind of swayed my buyer or my sellers a little bit to drop the price. But you know, you're still going to have your stubborn sellers that don't think this is of value, but this is where you have to know your worth and how to report it and how to express it to your sellers. And then the last thing that I have is just, why is RealScout better than a website such as Zillow, Realtor.com? Above average search experience. It's so much easier to read. You're communicating directly with the agent. You're not getting somebody that you think is the listing agent or the buyer's agent, and it's just some random agent. You get new property alerts daily or when properties hit the market. Property searches have all the information from MLS. There's a mobile app that's awesome, and you can use it with different lead platforms. So if you have Realtor.com, there's a way you can integrate it. And then the last thing I have is just a little bit about Zillow and why we should talk about Zillow and why your buyers and sellers should not use it. So that is all I have for my little quick RealScout.
All right, awesome stuff. So those are the 3 main technology platforms we use at LAER. I think they're unbeatable. So if you're a LAER agent, you get them at a substantial discount, then, but even without the substantial discount, these are game changers for your business. Cannot stress enough. Fellow, because it's going to keep you focused on the people in your database most likely to sell. And then Real Scout, because it delivers a search experience that's even better than what they would get on the big platforms like Zillow, so that your people don't have to go to Zillow to search real estate. Third section of our program guide really focused on career development, which we've already been through all this. I gave you a little, gave you some information on our Algorand program. We would love to have you if you're not participating with us already on Mondays. You can get caught up at laerrealty.com/12-week Algorand, and you can watch the last 5 classes and then join us every Monday at 10:30 for a live Algorand class. Let's see. In addition to all the regular training we do at LAER, we also bring in speakers throughout the year. There's always something happening at LAER. We have so many real estate agents that we're constantly out networking and growing and bringing our people together to learn off one another. The last piece of our LAER program guide is our support services. If you're a LAER agent and you ever need assistance with anything, just email happyagent@laerrealty.com. That goes into a customer service portal where you are the customer, so that when your request comes in, typically it is immediately assigned to one of 50+ staff members who can answer your question quickly and knowledgeably. And this is our way to make sure agents can never fall through the cracks. The success rate of real estate agents is super low. You guys may not realize this, but 87% of people who get licensed are no longer in the business just 3 years later. So we want to prevent that. I think the reason why people get out of the business is because they don't know how to get the help when they need it. So we want to make sure that our agents always have help when they need it. And we do that through our Happy Agent system. So you need anything, just go to laerrealty.com email happyagent at laerrealty.com. Other than that, the rest of the booklet just goes through like some of the additional tools and technologies we have. I do want to point out that one of the pages of our program guide is just a place where you can sign up for leads. So on the left-hand side of the screen, or the left-hand side of the booklet that you've downloaded, you can click through these and sign up. These are all referral fee-based lead platforms. So if you need some business coming in throughout the year, referral fee-based business, go to each of these places and sign up just to be a referral agent. And then at the very end of the booklet, you'll see all of our office locations. Couple of quick plugs. Number one, if you're not a LAER agent and you sat through today's program, first of all, thank you to everybody that sat through a 3-hour Zoom. I know that is not easy, but we do it every single month. And so I know that you're going to have some big results. You're going to change the trajectory of your business by sitting through today's program. If you are not a LAER agent and you're interested in learning about LAER, please email me at happyagent@laerrealty.com. My name is Stacy Alcorn. I'm the founder of LAER, and I would love to have a conversation about our tools, training, and technology. Even if we're not in your market, we probably will be soon. So send me an email at happyagent@laerrealty.com. I would love to have a confidential conversation with you about your business. And with that, we have 1 minute. So most important thing for all of you who joined us for 3 hours today is, before you get up from your chair, when you shut off this program, what are you going to do? You're going to write down at least 5 things that you're going to execute on, because it's not good enough to just show up for a 3-hour class. It's a nice step in the right direction, but it's not good enough. What's good enough is to go execute on something. Here's some of the things I recommend you execute on. Build your buyer presentation, build your seller presentation, a buyer guide, a seller guide, an investor guide. We've done all the work for you. I said, if you put aside 2 hours, you can have that done today. And it's not going to take 2 hours. I said you could do it in 2 hours and still have time to have 1 hour just be lunch. So go get those things done. Sign up for MLSmailings.com so you have mailers, set it and forget it mailers. Sign up for TPMCO.com, thepersonalmarketingcompany.com, so that after you close on transactions, you have a 5-year follow-up campaign. And then go explore some of the technology that we spoke about today. Fellow is a game changer. It is a game changer because it makes you efficient, because it takes your big database, all these people you have in your database, and says, hey, concentrate on this little group right here. These are the people most likely to sell a house. Go learn the Real Scout system so that you're not putting your consumer into an MLS search, because we know if we're going to put them in an MLS search, they're going to end up at Zillow. So go learn those systems. So those are some of the things that we think you should go execute on. And with that, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Please check out our Algorand classes. There's still 7 more classes. We'd love to have you be a part of that as well, if you're not already a part of it. And with that, thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful start to the spring market. And thank you, Ashley, Sergio, and Craig, for another great boot camp. Thanks, everyone.